Good afternoon. The topic for today is threat to network communication. So, in the communication, there are actually three types of communication systems. One is the simplex system, and then we have the half duplex system and full duplex system. In the simplex system, it is a one way of communication. We have a very large transmitter and several receivers. Example is radio broadcast, TV broadcast. Another type of communication is half duplex. In half duplex, we have only a single channel, and the communication, when it is forward communication, we have a transmitter and receiver. And the reverse communication, the receiver will act as transmitter, and the transmitter will act as receiver. There's only one channel. Example is walkie talkie. And then we have the full duplex system. In the full duplex system, we have two channels, one for forward communication and one for reverse communication. Example of mobile communication is full duplex communication. So in this type of communication, we can have interruption. Either the wire can be interrupted, the wire or cable can be interrupted. It's called as wire tapping. And outgoing devices, bugs can be attached to outgoing devices, and we can view or get the data. So it's in similar fashion. When the data is obtained, we can have four types of threats. One is interception or unauthorized viewing. In interception, the data is tapped and only the data is viewed, what type of content is there, and only viewing of data takes place. The second type of threat to network is modification. In modification, in, in spite of viewing, the hacker or the unauthorized person does modification to data. So the original content which was sent from the sender to the receiver was interrupted, and the data is modified. A new path is created than the original path, and the data is modified. Fabrication. The third type of threat is fabrication. In fabrication, the unauthorized person not only views the content, but he creates his own content, and a new content is being sent over the communication media. So that type of threat is called fabrication. And then we have interruption or preventing authorized access. So that is you're being denied the access. So these are the various threats to network communication: is interception, modification, fabrication, and interruption. So threats to network communication. Threats pose significant risk to confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data being transmitted over network. Some common threat to the network communication include eavesdropping. Unauthorized individual or entities may intercept and monitor network communication to gather sensitive information such as password, financial data, or intellectual property. Data modification: attackers may alter the data being transmitted over network. Then we have the man in the middle attack. Man in the middle attack: an attacker intercepts communication between two parties, allowing them to eavesdrop on or manipulate the data being exchanged without the knowledge of the communicating parties. Denial of service: DOS attacks aim to disrupt network communication by overwhelming network resources, making services unavailable to the legitimate users. Spoofing: attackers may impersonate legitimate entities or devices on a network to device users or gain unauthorized access to sensitive information. To mitigate these threats to network communication, organizations should implement encryption protocols, secure communication channels, access controls, intrusion detection systems, and regular security assessment to safeguard the integrity and confidentiality of the data transmitted over network. So this is a network. So the area around the network is called as a parameter. So security measures can be enforced within the perimeter. What makes a network vulnerable to interruption? So anonymity, an attacker may attempt many attempts anonymously. Many point of attack, larger network means many point of potential entry. Sharing, networked systems open up potential access to more users than to single system. System complexity, one system is very complex and hard to protect. Networks of many different systems with disparate OS vulnerability. Unknown perimeter, networks, especially larger one, change all the time, so it can be hard to tell which system belong and are behaving, and impossible to tell which system. Bridge networks, unknown path, there may be many paths including trustworthy one from one host to another. So unknown path is there, the path may not be known. Unknown perimeter, modification and fabrication. So data corruption may be unintentional or intentional, malicious, non-malicious, directed or random. Sequencing, permuting the order of data such as packets arriving in sequence. Substitution, replacement of one piece of data stream with another. Insertion, form of substitution in which data values are inserted into a stream and replay legitimate data are intercepted and reused.